Well, isn't this comfortable? Big shout out to my housemate Nick for lending me his van. Yeah, he's given me this little space down here to talk to you guys and speak freely. Grow voices. Right, so yeah, getting straight into it. I know last week I said I would talk about drones, maybe introduce them to you if you don't know about them already, have a little bit of drone chat and all that. But as Grow Magazine likes to talk about things that are going on right now, very current situations, I thought we could talk about whether you should be allowed to surf or not to surf. Big debate. Honestly, this is a big debate online at the moment. Big debate. A good friend of mine, Sean White, he prompted me to make this video, I guess, with his Facebook status that he posted a couple days ago. He posted a link to a Wavelength article, which is a really big surf magazine, and they do a lot of online content too. So they wrote an article, I think it was Luke Gartside that wrote it, and the title was "The Corona Court of Public Shaming is in Session. Careful, you could be next." And if you haven't read this article yet, I strongly recommend that you head over to Wavelength and read the article, because it's very, very well written. Very well written. a lot more well written than the way that I can talk. So I would definitely head over and read that. Bloody hell, I can't talk today, can I? So the article starts by talking about the coronavirus might actually bring us closer together as a society. It might heal those wounds that we have, those divisions within our society. Everything might become better because of us sticking together and having to pull through this. And that's obviously how it was looking when all this started, and there is a lot of positive stuff happening because of this virus, and you can see all that within all the other Grow Voices videos. So there is a hell of a lot of positivity that has come through this, but there's also been a bit of negativity towards publicly shaming people and calling people out on what they're doing within their spare time, whether or not they should be going out or not. Within the article, it actually says that there's a new hashtag going around, hashtag COVIDiot, which has been posted with pictures of people out and about, maybe in parks or in the sea or doing some sort of outdoor activity, and it seems to have been aimed at the more active people in our society, like the runners, the cyclists, and now surfers. Basically, there are two arguments. One, yes, it's fine for you to go surfing, go and spend your hours time on the sea. Two, stay at home, So I thought I'd go through the pros for each argument. Basically, we'll just have a little bit of a discussion and see what people are saying, and then you can kind of make your own mind up. So let's start with our go surfing argument. Why do cyclists get to still go cycling? Surely they're more dangerous being out in the traffic, on the roads, maybe even spreading it more because they're cycling between towns and, out and about. Whereas surfers have been told, no, you can't do it. Another one, viruses are less likely to be spread within salt water and generally by the sea. Now, I did a little bit of research into this because I kind of wanted to find out if this was just like a bit of an old wives' tale. Oh yeah, salt water, that stops viruses. Who knows? So, a little bit of digging, came across an article written by Surfrider Foundation. They did some proper digging into this, and in bold in the article it actually reads, "There is still no information on the ability of the COVID-19 virus to remain viable in saltwater." So at this moment we still don't actually know if it spreads within saltwater environments or not. It's still unknown. But within that article it does say that studies have shown that COVID-19 is viable and remains infectious in natural freshwater. Right, moving on. Well, I don't even need to drive to the beach or to the sea to go surfing. I can just run out my front door and go. So why should I be stopped to go for a surf if I can just run out the door? I don't even need to drive anywhere. Well, the government is saying that you should stay within your local area or drive at the, really don't drive, but if you really have to, then drive to somewhere where you can do a bit of exercise. And then obviously this blows the doors wide open, like, can I drive for a surf? Like, this is exercise, and it's just very confusing. And then finally the last argument, I'm an experienced surfer and I can look after myself. There's been quite a few comments within the social saying, look, I have been surfing for years, I can look after myself, I've been in worse situations before, I can look after myself. Don't tell me what to do with my surfing abilities and all this and that. Yeah, you might be actually pretty safe, you know, and a competent waterman, but literally anything can happen at sea, and us as surfers know that most. Right, so that's generally it for the let me go surfing side of things. Then we've got the stay at home argument, and the biggest argument on this side is by staying at home you're less likely to have an accident, thus less likely to need NHS assistance, thus more hospital beds available for corona victims. So basically they're saying the more that you stay at home, the less likely you are to have an accident, and take away paramedics or hospital time to deal with your injuries or whatever it is that you've done. I mean, it's pretty hard to argue against that one. Like, yeah, sure, you should actually stay back and try and minimize risk as much as possible. That is what they're saying with this advice. This point is mostly proven in the case of a close friend of mine, who I won't mention their name. Yeah, he's probably the most accident-prone man in British history. I think he's had more accidents in this last year than anyone else on record. I think he's been to hospital at least 10 times this year. Not out of stupidity, I'm gonna stick up for him. Accidents do happen, and yeah, couple these two things together of being a very accident prone person with a competent surfer, there is a very high chance that, you know, something could go wrong. These things happen. You are a corona calamity waiting to happen, my friend. That is pretty much it for the argument of the stay at home argument. That is like the crux of the problem here. You should stay at home and protect our NHS. Yeah, although it's not actually illegal to go surfing yet, I think now is the time to really think about our actions and put the greater good before ourselves. So I thought I'd leave you with a final comment that was written by James Cummings on Instagram. It's an interesting time for surfing, once again under the counterculture microscope. The expression of individualism created when individuals paddle out at sea is hard to ignore. A small black dot in our cold waters, standing out against the odds, the elements and the crowd. In that, I feel, is the main issue. It so clearly demonstrates individualistic behaviour, and we need the exact opposite of that to make it through this challenge. Surfers often lead the way on issues such as climate change or perhaps mental health issues. So why is it we seem to have an issue on leading by example on this particular unliteral human concern? Aside from the debate on individual approaches, I have chosen to leave the waves behind for a few weeks, and I'm focusing instead on how good it will be when we once again paddle out to the lineup